This is a review for Fear the Walking Dead, episode number 6. This episode was a great ending to the season, and it looks like next season we get a party boat, which I'm assuming Strand has another plan for. A boat would run out of fuel. Does he have an island lined up? Does he plan on staying on the boat offshore and doing supply runs? Has he already fully stocked the boat? If he's just hanging out on the boat, there's a danger eventually a group from shore will see it and try to take it, but I imagine Strand has thought of that, being the clever guy he is. I really enjoyed that we started with them leaving the safe zone to go to the compound to rescue their family, and I say this knowing that this point is probably going to be moot because they're going to airstrike the city at one point, at least supposedly they should. But, come on guys, not closing the gate. Maddie, that's 3 strikes at this point for you. I was waiting for the fence that Maddie had cut in a few episodes before to come into play, but I guess with them just leaving gates open, it's kind of... The suspense of the military compound was really exciting for me, and can we just acknowledge once again how much of a BAMF Daniel is? Seriously, he just casually strolls up to the checkpoint with a horde behind him like it's no big deal. Now, do you think Daniel unleashed the horde as just a way of creating a distraction, or do you think this was a little bit of revenge too for him? Daniel already has a mistrust and dislike of military, and then from Andy he ended up figuring out that they locked them in the stadium. So was unleashing them a way of distracting them, but also being like, screw you, you left all these people to die in the stadium, now you deal with it. Or did he really think that they could handle it and it was just a distraction? Either way, Daniel's behavior kind of shows why things fell to shit. We, as wonderful human beings, tend to be a bit selfish. With everyone out for themselves, it allowed for others to die quicker and become the undead. Daniel's family-first survival method, while helpful for keeping them alive, may cause problems in the future. Daniel created a monster when he tortured the soldier Andy, who had nothing to do with his wife being taken away, and who honestly had showed a lot of compassion. And then that monster Daniel created through torture came back and could have cost him his daughter. Is this going to be a theme moving forward? Daniel's actions causing problems? I have this feeling, this teeny little feeling, that Daniel really isn't out for what's best for humanity. And I really liked Ophelia saying to him, "You lied to me. My entire life I thought you were the victim." And he asked, would that make it better or easier for you or something like that. I personally really like when they take characters and they have a dark past or they have things about them that you shouldn't like them, but then they make you like them. And to me, those characters are more interesting, not the white knight going in and defending everyone, but the guy that has the tormented bad past, or maybe isn't a good guy, but you need him around because he's going to get the things done that needs to be done. Side note to everyone complaining about how inexperienced the characters were, using the zombies as a weapon was a pro-class move. Here's a really inappropriate thought, and I apologize in advance. Everything came up roses for Maddie this episode. She got her son back, she got rid of the ex, and she's going on a cruise vacation. But really compared to the other adult characters, Maddie kind of came out alright in this episode. You know, besides the collapse of society and every structure you've ever known. I'm also convinced at this point the actress that plays Maddie has 1, maybe 2 facial expressions tops. Travis was a huge development this issue. We went from a guy that wouldn't even shoot a walker he didn't even know to being able to kill his ex-wife with a gun, which I am not going to insert a bad joke here. This was a huge step for him. I was cringing so hard when the soldier was talking to him saying, "Hey, let me go." And I was like, damn it, Travis, you're gonna do it and you're gonna fuck it up for everyone else. And it sort of ended up screwing them over, but it was kind of worth it to see Travis just go apeshit crazy on Andy and just start wailing on him. That was magnificent. Apparently the reason Travis doesn't like using guns is because he has 2 of his own. I am honestly a little surprised that he didn't try to talk Liza and Madison out of killing her and saying, hey, just let's give it a little bit of time and see what happens. The fact that he just picked up the gun and was like, alright, let's go, after minimal talking, I think was actually kind of big for him. I'm also glad that they didn't have Chris walk up right as they did it. I thought for sure they were going to have some type of drama with him showing up and not understanding. I'm sure there's going to be drama next season over it, unless they jump ahead like they seem to like to do. But I was glad that they didn't have Chris walk up and make it super dramatic. Strand, I love that this guy is packing nice clothes. He may be on a boat, it may be the end of the world, but it doesn't mean he's not going to look good. And I kind of wonder how long he's going to hang out with the group before moving on. I'm going to assume that he's going to stay with the group until they inconvenience him. Random thoughts. The soldier's death by the helicopter blades was neat. Did the scene where the soldiers were shooting at the zombies through the fence look a little ridiculous to anyone else? When they panned over the water at the end, I expected to see something. Zombies in the water, half-eaten zombie shark, something. Way to cheat me, Fear the Walking Dead. And did LA not look like a ghost town at the end? Where the heck are all the walkers? I call bullshit that they evacuated that many people. And why were they so surprised when they didn't see Alicia, Chris in the vehicle? You told them to leave if they saw anything weird or they weren't back in 30 minutes. And I'm sure your whole escapade took longer than that. Final thought on this episode, I think next season I'm going to play a game where every time they leave a gate or door open, I'm going to take a shot. Lastly, the Walking Dead airplane special is now showing. It's only like a minute and a half each, so that might be a little bit maddening for you. And the first episode was just them taking off on a plane. It wasn't anything too exciting, but that's worth checking out if you have a spare minute or two. So that's my review for Fear the Walking Dead. I think overall it was an okay season. It started off slow and progressively got better, but that's with a lot of shows. A lot of shows have kind of a shaky first season, and then they kind of take off from there. So I'm willing to give it another season or two and just see how they expand the characters and where exactly they're taking it. Make sure you come back every week for the Walking Dead reviews, and besides that, we're going to start up Comic vs. Show again pretty soon.